Sally the Spinner finds a home. Contents, changes ahead. 2. The new machine. 6. Poor Sally. 16. The Dharma Bolt. 22. Happy ending. 30. Changes ahead. What's going on? Whispered Sally to her friend Ned the broom. Ned scratched up as his high bristles he could to look out their window. There's a big truck outside, he said, and Miss King is talking to the driver. The driver is holding something in the box. Sally spun her wheel quietly and her pedal moved up and down. She thought what about Ned said. Sally was worried that her new owner, Miss King, wanted to get a kitting machine. Sally was not a new spinning wheel. Miss King had brought her home 5 years ago when Sally's last owner had died. But Sally was in good shape. She didn't squeak when she spun. Miss King kept her very well dusted. I've heard about these new kitting machines, Sally said. My friend Elmo was talking about them at the spinning wheel conversation last year. He knew that 10 spinning wheels couldn't keep up with the new kitting machine. I don't really need to listen to him, but maybe he was right. Maybe I won't able to keep up with the new kitting machine. Sally thought for a minute. You know, these kitting machines can work day and night because they're powered by electricity. She said, they never get tired. I won't be able to keep up. Don't get upset, Sally, Ned replied. Let's wait and see what Miss King says. There's probably nothing to worry about. You're right, Ned, said Sally, and those kitting machines make an awful noise. I can't believe Miss King would want one. There is some mistake. Ned stretched up to the window again to see what's happening. He nearly popped out his bristles. Well, you'll find out soon, Sally, said Ned. Here they come. The new machine. Sally watched the door. She told herself not to worry. Maybe the new kitchen machine and I will be friends, she thought. It does get lonely in here when Ned's out sweeping the rest of the house. It might be nice to have a new friend to talk to. Miss King and the driver of the truck came into the room. The driver was carrying a large box. The large box looked heavy. The driver put the box on the table and left Miss King open it excitedly. I know what you're thinking, Sally, but you don't need to worry, said Miss King. Natalie Kidder is going to make your yarn into a sweater for me. There will be even more work for you now. Okay. Miss King lifted a gleaming white machine out of the box. Natalie Kidder, the new kitting machine, was so shiny that she dazzled Sally. Miss King plugged into Natalie and switched her on. Natalie's lights blinked. She made a whistling sound and clicking sounds. Who are you? Natalie asked Sally, in a high voice. And what is such an ugly spinning wheel doing in my new home? Now, Natalie, said Miss King, that's no way to talk to your new friend. This is Sally Spinner. Sally, meet Natalie Kidder. Sally looked at Natalie Kidder. Natalie looked away. Nice to meet you, said Sally, but Natalie said nothing at all. Oh no, thought Sally, this is going to be worse than I thought. Right, said Miss King. Come along, Ned. The kitchen floors are looking a bit dirty. We have got work to do. Ned smiled at Sally. She followed Miss King out the door. I won't be friendly, thought Sally. Natalie is rude. Nasty kitting machine. Well, Sally and Natalie, Miss King will soon find out that you can't keep up with me. She will get rid of you and buy yarn instead. But I can be kind to you until then, I suppose. Sally felt her spokes begin to jangle. This was a bad sign. Only happened when she was very grumpy. Look, Miss Stuck-up Tinter. I don't know what kind of spinning wheels you're supposed to be working with, but I could spin as well as any spinning wheel. And I could spin a lot better than a machine who needs electricity to work, said Sally. There's no wonderful thing about a kidding machine anyway. Natalie laughed. Well, you see, won't we? She said. I bet you'll get retired by the end of the week. I'm very latest kinker. You know, I can turn yarn into sweaters faster than yours. Get that faster than you can say spinning old wheel. Then she turned her back on Sally. Her lights turned on and off as she were laughing at Sally too. If you are going to be nasty, thought Sally, I'll show you. For the rest of the day, Natalie spun and spun. She worked from 10 in the morning to 10 at night. By the time she had finished, she got a huge pile of yarn. It was ready and waiting for Natalie to start working on the next day. Let's see how fast Natalie knits that part, thought Sally. Then she fell asleep, worn out. Poor Sally. Sally woke early next morning too, was hurling around. She scudded and looked over where Natalie was busily. Sally couldn't believe her eyes. The huge pile of yarn taken over the whole day to spin was nearly finished, and Natalie was nizzling so quickly that the yarn was going to be finished before Miss King get out of bed. Oh well, thought Sally. I suppose I'll have work to do twice as hard. Okay, I'll show Natalie King her Miss King. Miss King won't get rid of me, but oh dear, I will still feel so sleepy. Sally took a deep breath and went to work. Her wheel spun and spun. Her pedal went faster and faster. Be careful, you silly old spinning wheel, said Natalie. You might hurt yourself. Sally did not hear. She spun even faster, spun to pour out of her wheel. She felt dizzy. Miss King listened to the room. I can smell smoke, she said. Then she saw Sally was on fire. I'll go get some water, chatted Miss King. And she rushed out again. Miss King came back with a bucket of water and threw it on the cold water on Sally. While Sally coughed and choked, there were clouds and smoke in the room. That was the funniest thing I ever seen, Natalie said, and laughing. Be quiet, Natalie, said Miss King, or I'll put you back in your box. Natalie stopped giggling. I'm sorry, Miss King, said Sally, nearly crying. I was trying to go fast to keep up with Natalie. Maybe she's right. I am just a silly old spinning wheel. Tears spilled down Sally's spokes into the wet floor. The Dummerbolt. Mr. Dummerbolt picked up Sally an hour later. He told Miss King he would have her in a few days. When he got home, he took Sally to the workshop and went straight to work. Don't worry, I will have you back in shape in no time, Mr. Dummerbolt, said to Sally. Sally almost fell asleep as Miss Dummerbolt was replaced her burned spokes. Then she standed and he oiled and he polished. And when she thought he was about to stop, he oiled and polished some more. She started to feel like a new spinning wheel. There you go, Sally Spinner, he said. At last, you're good as new again. He put Sally into the sun, and he got to work on the table that he had lost a leg. Late in the afternoon, Miss Dummerbolt came out to the workshop to talk to Mr. Rowe. Then she saw Sally sitting in the sun. She got very excited. My grandmother had a spinning wheel just like this one, she said. That spinning wheel spun the softest yarn I ever felt. Her name was Sally. I think Sally the Spinner has always wondered what happened to her after her grandma died. Sally became wide awake. She turned, looked at Mrs. Dummerbolt. I remember you, you're Gretchen, exclaimed Gretchen Glosp. Your grandmother used to knit you sweaters, yarn I spun. Well, I've been Gretchen Dublin for the last 10 years, said Miss Dublin. Ever since I married Mr. Dublin, I can't believe it's you, Sally Spinner. What happened to you? When your grandma died, I was sold, said Sally. Miss King was taking good care of me, but she bought a new kitchen machine. I can't keep up. Mr. Dublin heard the voices. They came out of the workshop to find out what's happening. I mustn't lose Sally again, and said Miss Dublin to her husband. Let's go and ask Miss King if Sally can stay with us. They got ready to set off to see Miss King. One more thing, called Sally. My friend Ned lives with Miss King too. Can you please let him know that what happened? Otherwise, he'll get worried about me. Of course, he will, we will, said Miss Dublin. Well, we will. Tell your friend Ned that you'll be happy here. Mr. and Mrs. Dublin came back quiet soon. Ned was with them. Hi, Sally, said Ned. Natalie convinced Miss King to buy a vacuum cleaner. She didn't need me anymore either. She was very pleased that we both found such a good home. This was all worked perfectly, said Sally, smiling. But Ned did not answer. He already found some dirt on the floor. He was busy sweeping it away. A happy ending. Come on, Sally, said Miss Dublin. I can't wait to see if your iron is good how it used to be. Sally felt very nervous. What if just Dublin hadn't repaired her properly? What if the fire damaged her box for good? Maybe Mr. Dublin wouldn't keep her after all. Miss Dublin gave Sally a spin. Sally got to work, spinning the wool quickly. Then held her breath as Miss Dublin felt the yarn she spun was good enough. Oh, Sally, this yarn is perfect. It was soft as I remember, said Miss Dublin. So Sally went spinning happily. She would have a wonderful storytelling at the next spinning wheel conversation. The end. Make sure to like and subscribe. Bye.